What would you do if you saw a pregnant woman ordering multiple alcoholic drinks? Our protagonist today, a waiter named Alex, faced that exact dilemma, and his choice ignited a firestorm of controversy that cost him his job. For the last 3 years, I, Alex, have been a waiter. My shift last night started like any other, until a group of 4 women, all in their late 20s, were seated in my section. They were pleasant and easygoing, a welcome sight on a busy night. They started by ordering 4 of our signature house cocktails while they decided on their entrees. I put the order in and headed to the bar. As I was making my way back to their booth with a full tray of colorful drinks, my path took me along the back side of their high-backed seat. That's when I heard it. A piece of a conversation not meant for me, but clear as day. One of the women was excitedly talking about how she was 14 weeks along. As I rounded the corner to approach the table, the topic was still pregnancy, and it was obvious which of the women, let's call her Chloe, was the expectant mother. My heart did a little flip. I placed the 4 cocktails on the table, one in front of each of them, including Chloe. At the time, I just figured one drink wouldn't be a big deal. They gave me their food orders, and I went back to my other tables. However, about 5 minutes later, they flagged me down again and asked for another round of the same cocktails. A knot of concern tightened in my stomach. This wasn't just one drink anymore. Still, I put on my best service smile, said I'd be right back, and took their order. This was the moment I crossed a line, not just professionally, but ethically. I made a unilateral decision about another person's body and choices, completely unaware that this well-intentioned act of deception was about to blow up in my face. I walked straight to the bar where my friend, Marco, was working. Hey, I said, I need another round for table 7, but make one of them a virgin. Marco looked at me, confused. He's a good friend, so I just said, trust me on this one, and he shrugged and got to work. As one commenter later pointed out, this was my critical error. They wrote, you had good intentions, but you had no way to prove she was pregnant. You altered her drink without informing her, and you made a big decision without speaking to your manager. And they were right. I should have involved my manager, Brenda, from the start. Over the next hour, a few more cocktail orders came in, and with each one, I had Marco prepare Chloe's drink as a virgin version. The group got louder and rowdier, and Chloe was right there with them, laughing and having a great time. I watched them, thinking that because she hadn't noticed the difference in her drinks, everything was fine. This reveals my greatest fatal flaw in this situation, my assumption that a lack of immediate discovery meant my actions were justified. I mistook deception for success, a miscalculation that would ultimately seal my fate at this job. The real problem began when I dropped off the check. They decided to split the bill and pay individually at the front register. As Chloe came up to the counter, my stomach dropped. I glanced at her itemized receipt and saw that Marco, ever diligent about our inventory system, had marked each of her cocktails with the virgin modifier. It was too late to change it without causing a scene. My mind raced, but I saw no way out. I just processed her payment, praying she wouldn't look closely at the slip of paper. The group thanked me, left a very generous tip, and headed out. I watched them through the window, talking and laughing in the parking lot as they waited for their ride. Just as I was starting to breathe a sigh of relief, the restaurant door swung open again. It was Chloe, and she was holding her receipt. The friendly smile was gone. What does virgin on this receipt mean? She asked, her voice flat. I felt a flush of heat creep up my neck. I confessed that it meant the drink was non-alcoholic. She just stared at me for a few seconds, her expression unreadable. Did I order a non-alcoholic cocktail? She asked, her voice dangerously quiet. I admitted she hadn't. And then the lamest lie tumbled out of my mouth. I assumed you wanted one. Seeing as you're pregnant. Her face hardened. Give me my part of the tip back, she said, her voice like ice. I did. Then, she turned and asked to see my manager. Brenda, my manager, called me into her office. The door had barely clicked shut before she started screaming at me, her voice getting hoarse as she laid into me. I tried to stand my ground, telling her I wasn't going to be responsible for someone getting fetal alcohol syndrome, but she shot back that my actions could get the restaurant sued for discrimination. And after looking into my state's laws, I realized she was absolutely right. As another commenter, a manager themselves, later put it, if I was your manager, I would have fired you on the spot. While I agree that pregnant women shouldn't be drinking, you never change a customer's order without their consent. If you had an issue with her drinking, you should have taken it to your manager and let her deal with the situation. Brenda ended by taking me off the schedule indefinitely, pending her decision on my future. When I got home and told my parents, they said they understood my position, which was some small comfort. But at work, the entire staff is against me. I feel like I'm in the right for trying to protect an unborn child, but I'm probably going to quit before they can fire me. This story is a powerful reminder that good intentions don't give us the right to make decisions for other adults. Overstepping professional and personal boundaries, even for what feels like a strong moral reason, can have severe and immediate consequences. What would you have done in this situation? Would you have served the drinks, spoken to your manager, or done something else entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.